Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine Crafts. I hope you are well. Isn't this pretty? We're back on Christmas. It's only, well, in a month we need to be, sort of all our Christmas cards need to be made so that they can be written, posted, sent, given, gifted, however you want to do it. So I thought we'd have a go at making a few more. We're going to try and keep them fairly simple, looking at ideas that are going to be good for batch making and not taking up too many supplies. Let's use what we've got in our crafty stash. This Spellbinders die is probably one of the oldest dies I've got in my collection. I've had this for probably well over 20 years. I love it. It works. And I've never found anything that's comes close to replacing it. So look in your stash, see what you've got, and let's see how I made this card. Well, this is a bit of fun, switching back to Christmas again. I didn't really think ahead, and then I suddenly thought, gosh, it's only a few weeks till Christmas. I better do a few more Christmas cards, give a little bit of Christmas inspiration. So here we go. So my card base, excuse that, it's going to be on the other side, is 6 inches by 7.5 inches. I used 8-inch card base to do that. And then on the top, I have put some lovely gold mirror card. If you can't use gold at Christmas, when can you? And my topper is 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. So I've gone up by 1 1/4 inches on each side. You can see on there. So it's a little bit more, but I've got quite a few layers. And you can see I've also written on here small square. So I've got a second topper, and this is 4 1/2 inches by 4 1/2 inches. And that's going to sit on that topper like that. So I've also, so my colour theme is sort of these lilacs and blue. So I found some lovely blue card. I don't know if this is the one that came out of there. Oh yeah, it was. So I've taken that out because I think it's really nice card. And these are going to sit on my card base. So let's pop that one on. That's going to go just like that. So we can pop that on, and then we can just put a little bit of weight on it. And I can put that on to there, just like that. That looks nice, isn't it? You can see really fine layers really does make a difference. I always do my layers very, very fine, less than 1/4 inch. It's just my preferred. I just think it just looks super smart. And then a bigger layer for the base. So let's just put that on, just to show you. This one is going to go onto there, but we've not quite finished it yet. So that's going to go on there. Look at that lovely, lovely colour palette, isn't it? Let's put that under some weight. So that can be drying while I do a little bit of work on here. It's very simple. I'm not going to do much at all. I'm just going to pop it into my box. Most of it's going to be covered, so I just want to do something on this side, and I was umming and ahhing what could I do. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get my crafty mat, which has already got a few bits and marks on, and I'm going to get a sparkle pen. I don't know if this is going to work. I've not actually tried it out, which is possibly a bit dangerous, but hey ho, we live by the seat of our pants today. So I just want that to rattle. The more it rattles, the more mica is mixing around. There we go. And I'm going to get that. I could go straight from the pen, but I'm just a bit concerned that it's going to be a bit too strong. So I'm going to get my old sparkle pen that you've seen before. So this is an old sparkle pen. So basically I'm using it as a water brush, but I just want to control this a little bit more. So all I'm going to do is pick up some of the gold mica, or the gold sparkle pen, and I'm just going to tap it onto here. I wasn't getting this much control when I looked at using it straight from the pen. There was too much. I want really fine gold speckles. There we go. That's all I'm going to do. Give that brush a quick clean again, and then wipe that down. And I'm just going to leave that to dry because we need that in a few minutes, but I'm not going to touch it till that has dried. So when that's dried, we're going to pop this topper on top, and we need some decoration down the sides. So I found my Spellbinders snowflakes. These are really old. They're probably one of the oldest die sets I still own, because I did clear out a lot of die sets. And I've gone and cut it. Well, I started off thinking I was going to use a small one. So I started off with this small die. And then I decided it wasn't big enough. If I wanted to use this, I'd have to use 3, then it was going to start looking cluttered. So I switched to this bigger set, which this set here. And I've cut it out of blue. Now the blue actually ripped, but that's fine because I was actually, it's really lucky because I was planning to cut that off. It looks like it might be trying to go again there, so I'm going to be really careful. I'm going to be really, really careful. If this rips, I'm going to have to cut it again. Let's poke it out from the ends. It could be that it's cut so well that the card just rips when you try to get it out, and sometimes it does that. Let's go around there. Right, okay. Let's give it a little bit of a poke from the centre. I'm going to just gently ease this out. Did I not press that through? Yep, there. Now I could go with some cut tidy. If this doesn't work, I could use some cut tidy and then it would just help. Oh no, it's come out. Perfect. Let's move that out of the way because it's looking a little bit distracting. So I'm going to poke all the bits out, all of the stray bits. It's a shame because this die set goes from a really small snowflake to quite a large snowflake, and there doesn't seem to be a great deal in the middle, but we can make this work. So I've got it in gold and I've got it in blue. So what I thought, my plan was, I was actually going to cut it off at the top, but I'm actually going to, now because this one's broken, I'm going to cut all of these pieces off. So I'm going to cut to there. Let's go with a smaller pair of scissors. Got a smaller pair of scissors, why not use them? And there. And this would actually make quite a nice, actually I'm now looking at this and thinking this might be a better size. But never mind, we'll go with what I was going to do. We can cut down to, see the great thing about these, they call them bumblebee scissors, I suppose because they're black and yellow, is the blade, the cutting blade goes right to the tip, right to the very tip. I've had this pair years though. Years and years and years. Just like that, you see? Now that probably, no, I'm going to stick with what I wanted to do. Right, so once we've done that, let's get those off. And I'm going to get my precision glue press and I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto here. And we're going to just pop this all the way round here. Now I know a lot of you like the precision glue press. I did see that it had been launched on Hobbycraft TV, which is where I'm sometimes doing some shows. Not that I get any kickback if you go on there and get it. There's no commission or anything, but it's just another place that you might be able to find it in stock. I wish I did get commission for the amount of people that bought it based on watching me use it on my videos. But I don't want to gatekeep really good products. There we go. So we've got that on there. There we are. I don't want to drop shadow. Doesn't that look beautiful? Really, really pretty. And that is going to go, I'm going to put it that way, on the side of there. Isn't that pretty? And that needs to go onto the card. Oh, I'll tell you what else I need to do. I need to put a gem in the centre of there. So I don't have a lot of goldy ones. I was looking and I think this is going to be the best I can do. And we can just put that one in the centre of there. So let's have a look at this. Oh, that's dry. I'm going to be careful. But doesn't that look lovely with those sparkles? And that's going to sit. I think that just looks so much prettier than just white, doesn't it? So let's pop, make sure my card's the right way up. Oh, it's upside down. Upside down, we'll need to be careful. So let's pop that one on. Remembering to be very, very careful. And that's going to go on there. Nice colourway for Christmas, isn't it? A little bit different. Little bit different. There we go. just being careful. And then I'm going to pop this on. I always do my foam tape vertically, or at least the first layer. Just my preferred direction. So we can put that on. I'm still going to pop a little bit, sorry, I knocked over a glue gun then. A little bit of PVA on, just to give me that wiggle room. You can use glue sticks or anything like this, as long as it gives, you know, gives it a wiggle. Now, I can see the baubles are hanging down, so I know I've got it the right way up. And that, I'll just make sure I've got the same border, top, edge and bottom, which I think I have, and then I can press. So what I'm doing now is pressing through the PVA one end. Now I did use a slightly thicker foam tape on this, but I just wanted a little bit high. That's so pretty, isn't it? Just as a concept, that is so, so pretty. So let's grab this, pop this on here. Now, we only need to put glue on one half. So the glue needs to go on here. I think this would be the best bit. Just go all the way around, because it's got to hold it. What I might do though, put that there, coming down here, all the way around there. If you're ever at all worried that the glue's not spread about, just get an old sponge and just dab onto it, and then it just moves it around and spreads it out a little bit for you. There we go, that's spread that out nicely, taken off any excess. What I might do though is get my 3D glue and just put a couple of blobs just there to add a little bit of support, like that. So let me make sure I get the right, so that's going to, oh, before I put that on, I want to put a little bit of twine on. So let's go with a little blob of 3D glue in the centre. And then I want to, I'm going to have to go a bit bigger circles than I originally thought, aren't I? Because this is a slightly bigger snowflake than I was originally planning. So I hope I've cut my string big enough. How do I want to do this? I don't know. I'm hoping it will just naturally curl, but it's not, is it? Let's put one there. Let's wrap that round and put one there. Let's grab a bit more. I can trim it down in a minute. Oops, thought I cut that, didn't cut that through. I was doing a much smaller snowflake, so it was working, and then I've just changed my snowflake up, haven't I? And so now the piece I'd cut wasn't big enough. Right, let's put that there. Then we're going just like that. And that should just grab as well on that side with that little bit of 3D glue. Come on, grab. It's trying to lift. Just giving it a minute to grab. That should grab because that glue has been left a few minutes. So let's just trim some of these down. There we go. Nice little bit of just embellishment, really. It's not meant to be anything other than that. Let's just push that down so that that glue grabs. Isn't that pretty? That's really pretty. Now, just to show you what I had planned to do was I'd planned to do it in a smaller one. I think it'll get lost, and I've just gone over it with a gold pen. But I think the bigger one definitely works much better. I've cut out Merry Christmas sentiment. It was it's got Merry Christmas in there, and I'm just going to pop that in the bottom corner. I was thinking of doing it straight from here, but I'm going to take it out. so I can see what I'm doing. Now, don't want that. I think I might do that. Yes. Pop it across here. Now, when you're making Christmas cards, you're having to think about batch making. So at the moment, I'm thinking about this one because it's the first one. But actually, once you've got this going, you might want to do a few less layers. But the actual principle of this is really quick and easy. Oops. It's really quick and easy. And it would be really easy to batch make. Because the chances are when you're making Christmas cards, you're going to be making 2, 3, 10 of the same card very often. Not always. You might want to make every Christmas card individual. I don't know. So let's try and get that straight. Is that straight? Looks straight, doesn't it? And then the Merry. We can dab it in a minute. Just give that glue a minute to grab. I thought there was a piece left in there. There we are. Thought it looked a bit not quite right. And then let's put that one there. Quite a lot more gold on it than I possibly first imagined, but that's not a bad thing. It's a Christmas card. It's a Christmas card. So we can put that. Let's grab that piece off. There we go. Don't know why it is that when you dab with a cloth it goes on better than when you dab with your hands, but it always does. Look, even this is doing better dabbed with a cloth. There we go. Now the question is, do I need any more gems on here? So let me just see if I want to put a couple of these on. Just a couple of, I could put some like on there. One there. I think this looks all right. And one in the centre of there. There we go. That'll do. That will do nicely. Wow. I do worry about me looking for things. There we go. Just pat that down a little bit. And that is the first of this season's Christmas cards. What do you think? I think that's really pretty. Very simple, quite modern. And again, like I say, something that could, once you've got it made and you know the design, it would speed it up. So, you know, 4.5-inch square with a snowflake on, a little bit of splatting and a few mats and layers. Get a sentiment and you're away to go. You could even buy pre-made sentiments that would work really well. I mean, if you don't want to cut those out, you can always go with peel-offs or something like that. See what you've got in your craft stash. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I really like that. I love the colourways. I think it's really a little bit different. And that really, really works for Christmas. So there we go. How many Christmas cards have you made already? I've got quite a few this year already done. So yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm going to leave you there. I will link back here to my playlist for Christmas that I've done this year. And I will also link to my subscribe button on the right. So I hope you've enjoyed my sort of ramblings on and as we've put this together. But I think it looks really pretty. I love the little bit of dimension and the sparkle, of course, because it's Christmas, isn't it? So we all need sparkle for Christmas. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with another Christmas video very, very soon. So until then, you take care, my friends, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.